7:14. Bob's at Mike 2, and I want to welcome David Guist from Cotter Full-Time Fire Department.
Volunteer.
Volunteer, yeah.
Good morning.
You're doing a good job, David.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you stopping by, and we need to start getting some more of our fire departments in here and talking because we are dry. Yeah.
Yes, sir, it is. I know that several of the fire districts around here right now are actually under burn bans. Cotter has a burn ban. Flippin, Ray Valley, Oakland Promised Land, they're all under burn bans right now just because it's so dry and windy out. I know we have a little bit of rain that's going to be moving in for too long. We need all of it that we can get, but you need to check with your local fire chiefs or city hall or whatever before you burn. Is until they decide they want to remove the advisories or bans or whatever, it's still a bad situation.
Yeah, because we're not even talking about guys burning off big fields or anything. We're talking about debris in the yard, and you're burning the stuff off, and then you get distracted with something else and walk away, and all of a sudden the grass is on fire running across the side of the hill.
Yeah, I mean, even to this point right now, somebody that smokes, if they're smoking on their back deck and flip the cigarette butt off into the yard, it can cause an issue.
Sure.
Absolutely, and with all the leaves coming down right now, people's gutters are full, the sides, their yards are full or whatever, and, you're out there burning some, debris off of your yard or whatever. All it takes is an ash or a spark to go over into that neighbor's gutter or into their yard.
And all those trees that went down during the ice storm, that's just kindling that's laying there. I mean, that's waiting to go. And that's really in the back of my mind, that's one of my bigger fears. That all this forest have got.
You got a whole list of stuff to go over, David. I'm going to let you have the microphone.
Well, we have a couple of upcoming events that I wanted to get out there. Cotter VFD is having their first annual fall festival. It's the first year that we've started this. It's going to be from 5 to 8 at the Cotter Fire Station up on the hill by the old water tower on the 31st. It's all free. There's going to be tons of candy. There's going to be a lot of different games. This year, it being our first event, it's kind of geared toward the younger kids.
Well, that's what it should be anyway.
And as we build throughout the years, we'll add some to it. There's going to be a costume contest. There'll be a lot of stuff for the kids to do.
Good.
So photo booth, some things like that. They can come out. They can put some fire gear on, get your picture took if they want to. So that always goes over real well.
Yeah, you put them in all that costume. You put them in that costume, it's like, oh my God.
There'll be a trunk or treat down at the Big Spring Park on the 30th from 4 to 6. Cotter Fire Department will be down there as well. We're going to kind of put on a little skit, as you will, and kind of show some of the things that we actually do out there. So we're just looking forward to that, and we're always trying to add and build things and try to keep things into the community and just build it up.
Cotter's a great town, as we were talking before. Really Peggy does a great job. For my money, Peggy has done a great job for mayor.
Yeah, I agree.
And the things that are going on, there's new businesses that are coming in. It's a slow process, but it's only going to take like one more business to get going, and I think you could see a real turnaround in there, and you are seeing a turnaround.
It is.
You look at Warrior Station being open, and even White Sands being open longer and steady. That's the most important thing. Steady hours. I know I can go up until 7 o'clock and eat, and not just kind of guess. That's huge.
And we have, we have some new, I'm not sure what you would call it, fishing resort type things coming in where people can come and
some of the guides are different there.
Yeah.
I was at the Cotter Gasol Chamber the other day. It was a nice turnout, and it's good.
Yeah, but I suggest just come out and just drive around through Cotter. It's a great historic district.
It is.
Got some old.
You go out there and watch the river going by at about 200 miles an hour. That water's moving down.
Is
there.
it really? They generate right now.
Oh yeah. Well, they've been generating. They're trying to get full shoals now.
Yeah.
It has been, but it's still a lot of fun to go down there and fish.
Sure. So we got the Halloween events going on, and then you've got just the volunteer firemen and women.
Yeah, we have actually.
And men and women that are involved in that, and we we, all of us, are so dependent on all of you and the work that you do. I come from a fire family, and I know the dynamics of this, and maybe you can expound a little bit on the importance of the fire departments.
It really is, especially when you're a volunteer, you know, a paid department. That's what they're there for. They're assigned certain duties. They're going to be there, you know. As a volunteer department, you know, it's everybody's responsibility in the community to get out and to volunteer in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a firefighter to volunteer for the fire department. There's a lot of things that need to be done, such as, you know, groundskeeping, cleaning the station, washing the trucks, and those things take a lot of time. And, you know, you can come and volunteer to plant flowers or to do a lot of different things in the fire department or just your community in general.
Well, you know, even the citizens alone can organize a fundraiser for your volunteer fire department without involving the fire department personnel to have to put and do their own fundraising. You know, you have auxiliaries and stuff.
Our Ladies Auxiliary, you know, you can come out and volunteer your time and help those ladies. They do, you know, and not just for Cotter, all the fire districts.
Right,
you know,
right.
They really counting on the support from their Ladies Auxiliary. They help out so much.
Where are we at on your list? I know you've been here since 6:30 this morning writing stuff down to make sure people know about these things. I want to make sure you get everything in.
Well, I pretty much got about everything in. I wanted to speak also about addresses. That's always a big issue. If we can't find you, then we can't help you.
Well,
And, you know, and everybody says, well, you should be able to see a fire. Well,
No, that's not true.
Not always,
That's not true
you
at
know.
all.
And we do so much more than just fight fires.
You respond on medical?
We're also first responders.
Yeah.
We do, you know, fall with injuries, cardiac, or this or that. And if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we come down, you know, the street, and there's 3 houses with no number.
Yeah. Or 2 in the afternoon.
Mike Del Pivel. Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Preach it on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But if we've got, you know, I can get on the street that you're at, and I can get on the right block. But if I've got 3 houses with no numbers, I've got to go door knocking. And
It reminds me of the cartoon in the newspaper one time. You know, this guy's frantically calling the fire department. He says, "What do you mean? How do you get here? Don't you have those big red trucks?"
Well, do you guys make signs? Because the guy from Buford
made them.
I had to make me one because of the same thing. I mean, I've got a mailbox out there, but it's not. I mean, if they were blowing by, but I had to make the big green and white with the white numbers. Do you guys do that at your department?
Yeah,
or?
we don't.
Okay.
But I strongly suggest that people make sure that they have house numbers and that they are visible.
Yeah.
No, they said that white lettering on green background is just a regular sign, but if it's white lettering on a blue background, that means there's a medical issue within that structure.
Absolutely, yeah. And
so make sure you get the appropriate sign.
And if if you're out there and you have a medical issue, you know, you're on oxygen or whatever your case may be, get a hold of your local fire chiefs. Let them know, I have an issue here, and that way we know how to best take care of you and respond to whatever.
Or my dad's kind of thick-headed, and he's not going to tell you, but if you go to 123 Dyer Street, maybe we could get a sign over there, because he's not going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you that he's got a health issue. Yeah. So don't, it's not just a matter of you calling. Maybe you could call for a loved one or whatever the case may be and get them.
That's another thing with the volunteer service. Like I said, you don't have to be a firefighter if you're not interested in that. You can be a first responder. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot of training just to be a first responder and get out there and help with some of these medical calls.
Yep. What's your biggest need down at Cotter Fire Department right now that's just got a price tag?
What's your next big project?
Well, we're looking at getting a new rescue truck probably here before too awful long. The rescue truck that we have is.
Explain what those is. I don't. What's a rescue is compared to?
A rescue truck. It typically responds more to medical calls, motor vehicle accidents, and things like that.
Is that the thing that'll carry jaws of life?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. So Cotter has some fairly narrow streets and stuff, and our rescue rig is fairly wide. So we're looking at getting something that's, and it's also standard. Not everybody can drive a standard. So we're looking at getting something maybe automatic, something a little smaller where we can get through there. And that's another issue that I have. If you're parking on the street, we can't get those trucks through there very well. So try to pull your vehicles over as far as you can.
Yeah. And try not to park if there's somebody on the other side of the street. Pull up 10 feet or pull back 10 feet so that you don't have the two cars side by side, because that really causes that bottleneck in there too.
It does. It does. Like I said, check with your local city governments, not just for your fire department stuff, but there's a lot of information. Go to your city council meetings. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to find out that you didn't really know.
I know that at the fairgrounds on the 31st, there's like an emergency service thing at Baxter County Fairgrounds.
County Judge's going to be here on the 29th to talk
Are you guys going to participate in that, or?
Yeah, I won't. We won't be there as a fire department.
Okay.
I know some of them will, but I have other things that I got going on.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was just curious to plug that in, to plug you guys as well.
Oh, absolutely. And strongly suggest going. They do a lot of pre-planning and things like that, which I suggest everyone do.
Hey, boy, exactly. I tell people, everybody, when somebody moves here, I tell them you should have 3 days worth of food and water in the house all the time, because you just don't know.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Anyway, we're visiting with David Guist of Cotter Volunteer Fire Department, and whether you're in Cotter or Beaufort or Norfolk or Promised Land or down at Pineville where Mike is at, help these people out.
Yeah. And you guys all cooperate with each other. I mean, if there's a call out and there's...
Oh, yes.
Mutual aid.
We have mutual and automatic aid with some of the other fire districts. And so it's, it's not just one, but we all work together, but we all count on the support from everyone else as well.
Sure. And because having the river in town, being part of the town, is there like special things that you guys do to help with, swift water not necessarily swift water, but with water rescues and that type of thing?
Yeah, we do. I believe Cotter is one of the only fire districts on that area of the river that does have a rescue boat. Mm-hmm. So we do any number of different things in that particular area.
Yeah.
So.
A rescue boat. I never thought of that. Wow.
Yeah, well, because we watched the guy go in. We watched the family go into the river. And whole big bad story. But the guys responded and they pulled him out right down where Big Creek, where Big Spring comes out into the river up there. They pulled the one guy out right there and stuff. Some off-duty firemen from Kansas City that were down visiting went and grabbed their boat and went and snatched people out of the water. It was
wow,
very frustrating to be standing there watching and knowing that there's nothing you can do. But I was the guys came out and your guys were out there real quick. Cotter was out there real quick with rescue help.
Minute and a half before we go to break, David. Final thoughts. What do we need to cover real quick?
Well, just as a general thought, do more for others than you do for yourself. Get out there. That's a big thing I see anymore. Just get out there and do something for somebody else.
That's good. And we'll talk about the burn bans. Your list of cities that you've got right now. You said the Baxter County is under burn advisory.
Yes, sir.
And what's your burn bans that you've got listed?
I have Cotter, Flippin, Ray Valley, and Oakland Promised Land are all under bans at this time. I'm not aware of any others. There may be some that come on. With this rain moving in, I think everybody's going to kind of hold off and see what that's going to do.
Yeah.
But just still be real careful with it out there, because we may get a lot of rain real fast, and then it just dry right back out.
Right.
We don't
Hopefully
know.
this is going to be one of those slow soakers.
Yeah. That would be nice.
They said that we got a chance of rain now through, I think, Tuesday evening on and off.
It's not till tomorrow morning.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning. So.
Yeah, because on the radar it's still showing like 100 miles west of Oklahoma City, so it's going to take a while to get
here.
Anyway, David, it's good to see you here, and if you want to stick around for a while, we got the governor calling in. If everything works out, we got the governor calling in here at 7:30. We'll go live with him at 7:35. Been visiting with David Guist of Cotter Volunteer Fire Department, and your fall festival is the 31st. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And where's that at?
That's going to be at the Cotter Volunteer Fire Station.
That's it by the
It's
old
right on
college?
Harding there. Yeah.
Right on Harding.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That brings us to news time. Stick around. Be right back.